Greetings. So I realized as I was producing all these videos that things were getting a little dry and repetitive. So uh, yeah, I started messing with the zoom effects, as you can tell. Because now I have a blue beard and mustache. Kind of follows me around. Um, and I'm in TV, an old school TV from like the 60s. In fact, I probably had these in the 80s as a kid. Um, but more on how old I am later. We're going to get to a really exciting topic right now, which is the course assignments and schedule, which hopefully many of you have opened and taken a look at already. And so I want to give you a rundown of that. This might be a longer video than usual, but good thing I'm not doing anything distracting, like having a blue beard or a giant television frame. In the way. So, oh, what am I sharing here? Stop share for a minute. Yes, we're back. Oh, this, my friends, is once again our Elements of Writing Talon website. As I mentioned in previous videos, you can always find our course schedule and a rundown of our assignments under course information. And the two places to click on that would be course calendar and, of course, course assignments. Start with calendar. Okay. So I've uploaded the course schedule as a Word doc or a docx file and a PDF. So that should work on just about any system, especially for those of you who have Apple products. If you are among the upper crust and elite of society and happen to have Microsoft Word, then of course you can download this file. And it will open and look something like this. Okay, so how do I interpret the course calendar? I'm glad you asked. I've laid out the calendar in what I think is a relatively straightforward and simple way to find out what we'll be doing any given week in this class. You have, starting from the left here, the week, which has the dates that encompass that week. So again, this week would have been yesterday, Martin Luther King Day, through to Sunday night, January 21st. The topics that we'll be covering that week. So we just covered MLK Day, sort of. Now I'm going to post a video about that later. This week our topics are introductions, introducing ourselves and the class. Saying my screen sharing is paused. Very strange. Okay, hold on. So, apologies. So, like an idiot, let's go back and rewind and say, I click on the course calendar and it opens into this. Now you can see the Microsoft Word doc and the course calendar, which is again laid out in this way. To the left, in this blue column, you'll have the week and the dates that encompass that week. On the left, you'll have to the right of that, I should say, in the green, you'll have the topics that we're covering for that week. To the right of that, in yellow, you'll have whatever course readings are due that week. And most importantly for students, I assume the assignments that are due by Sunday at midnight. And as you can see, this week we have 2 icebreaker forums, a brainstorm forum, and the little check-in entrance survey that we'll look at in detail in just a moment. And as you scroll down, you'll probably notice something, and that is that the assignments begin to mount, meaning that we have more assignments per week as the semester rolls on. And that's because you'll become more familiar and adept at doing these assignments, and things will be easier for you. The other thing you'll notice as we shift through this is that there are different kinds of assignments due at different times, right? So we do a number of things kind of simultaneously in this class. The most important thing that we do is write constantly. And so in that regard, we have icebreakers and brainstorm forums, which the former, the icebreaker, is really just an attempt to get to know each other. We scroll down to assignments here. Casual, lighthearted weekly discussion posts to allow the class to become acquainted with each other. Those are 5 points apiece. They encompass 10% of your total grade. The brainstorm forums are deeper, more intensive weekly discussion posts related to course readings, lessons, and writing assignments. And so, as you can tell, the first icebreakers were like, why are you at Kirkwood? And what's your favorite fast food restaurant? The brainstorm forums will go more in depth, especially these first few, which are going to ask you, who are you? Where are you from? What are your values? What's your major? What's your future career field, and so forth. These, of course, these brainstorm forums are geared towards working towards this, the scholarship essay, which is a personal statement that's based on criteria provided by Kirkwood Scholarship Foundation. So we'll go way more in depth in that next week, but should say that this scholarship essay could, I think, and should probably be a very usable document by the time we're done with it, because we'll go through several drafting rounds and with peer review and feedback. The other essay you have in class is at the very end. It's a course reflection essay, a short reflective essay discussing your personal growth. That assignment will be released later on in the semester. And the two other kinds of assignments you'll have this semester are mechanics quizzes and check-in surveys. Now, check-in surveys, let's start there. There are only two of them. There's one in the beginning, that's our assignment this week, and there's one around the midterm, which will basically try to suss out how things are going, what I could do better, what we could do better, and kind of make sure that we're all ready to go for the second half of the semester. So again, that comes in the middle of March. Mechanics quizzes are multiple choice quizzes that are based directly on course lessons that we have on writing mechanics like grammar, punctuation, essay structure, and so forth. And so, coming up here, once again, you'll see the sort of rhythm of the semester moves between getting us ready to write the scholarship essay. So you have a brainstorm forum on who are you? What's your major? What are your career goals? At the same time, introducing the so-called elements of writing, parts of speech, nouns, verbs, sentence structure, prepositions, conjunctions, articles, and so forth. And the course basically weaves in and out of that kind of sequence over the next 4 months. So we have lessons on things like pronouns later on. We'll have lessons on things like topic sentences and transition sentences and paragraphs and commas and semicolons. But in between, we'll talk about deeper issues that have to do with writing. So for example, week 10, we have a discussion about artificial intelligence in writing. In fact, I have a video on artificial intelligence coming up in just a moment. Later on, we have a little 2-week module on questions of standard English and other kinds of languages, other kinds of Englishes, and how education, the educational system, can kind of hit our own selves against our sort of intellectual or academic self. That's probably a little bit of a tangent for this early introduction here, but hopefully the schedule is pretty straightforward in terms of what it's asking for when. As I mentioned before, our Callan will always, under course content, have week 1, week 2, week 3. You see these are hidden right now because this is my teacher view. And I hope to actually open up week 2, if not tomorrow, probably Thursday or Friday, and then have a week ahead open as we're working through them for those folks who like to work ahead. The various assignments, again, you'll notice, for example, if you click on week 1, and let's say icebreaker 1, they are hopefully pretty self-explanatory in terms of how to engage with them. Any discussion forum, whether it be an icebreaker or whether it be a brainstorm forum, you just simply click start a new thread and respond to the prompt. Quizzes, you just simply take them, right? If you go back to week 1 assignments, you'll see that there is check-in quiz here, entrance survey. And again, you're not going to have a preview button, but you're going to have a start button that effectively is going to have you start by answering these entrance survey questions. Start quiz, right? And you just take the quiz. The entrance survey is a short answer, but it's asking you about your history as a writer. All mechanics quizzes will be multiple choice. And so this one might take a little more time, hopefully, as you sort of begin to tell your history as a writer. But moving forward, the quizzes shouldn't take as much writing labor, although, you know, figuring out where to place a comma properly and what makes for a good transition sentence and so forth will take some kind of thinking. Okay, I'm back to Bluebeard. So that's where to find the assignments. That's where to find our course schedule. Any questions you have, please direct them to my email, text message, drop in during office hours from 8 to 9 in the morning, or schedule a time to meet with me via Zoom or phone. I'm really happy to touch base and allay any concerns or worries you have about the class as we're getting started. Until then, so long and stay warm.